So I think comparing Evergrande to a Lehman Brothers situation might be a little overblown, but that's not to say that the Chinese real estate market isn't headed for a world of pain. Now, you've probably been hearing a lot about Evergrande over the past several days and maybe never heard of them before, but they're the second largest real estate developer in China. And over the past several months, their stock has dropped 90% and over 20% in the past couple of weeks. The reaction that Evergrande might default on some upcoming payments sent shockwaves through the world economy, sending the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 2%. In this video, we'll discuss what exactly is going on with Evergrande and also the Chinese real estate market as a whole, and also why I believe this is not another Lehman Brothers situation. Evergrande is a highly levered real estate developer in China. They have over $300 billion worth of debt on their balance sheets. Recently, the Chinese government has clamped down to restrict the supply of credit in the market, with the overall goal of moving away from growth through debt. And Evergrande has clearly suffered the negative fallout from these restrictions. Evergrande is not only funded from within China, but they have also gotten funds from abroad, and specifically the US bond market. Now, Evergrande has a series of upcoming bond payments that a lot of people are expecting they might default on. Now, whether they can make these payments or not is one question, but just looking at Evergrande's balance sheet, they have, as discussed, roughly $300 billion worth of debt. Well, if you count up their assets, it's roughly $220 billion. So there alone, it tells you that they have not been making good with the funds that they've been receiving through their investments. Proponents of Evergrande feel they can avert disaster if they're able to start getting cash flow from some of their assets, as well as receive further debt to make some of these payments. Analysts from UBS have suggested that it's possible that Evergrande can save themselves by restructuring some of the debt. I, however, think this is highly unlikely. It's possible that Evergrande can find a way to come up with the funds for this round of payments, but come the next round or the round after that, I think it's just a matter of time before they start defaulting on these payments. In fact, they've already started coming short on payments to suppliers and other investors. And now let's zoom out and look at the Chinese real estate market as a whole. Evergrande is not the only major real estate developer in China that is facing these problems. Another, for example, is Guangzhou R&F, who have also seen their stock plummet over the past few months. There are a few fundamental problems about the Chinese real estate market. Prices over the past couple decades have absolutely skyrocketed in China. This has fueled numerous investors to buy properties throughout the country, speculating, imagining that prices are just going to keep going up and up. This has led developers to keep building and building to meet the demand from people speculating on real estate in China. It's estimated that at its peak, there was enough real estate development in China each month to house the entire population of Houston. This overdevelopment has led to there being ghost cities in certain areas of China where you can just see, you can go through a city with all these high rises, but no one ever moved in. And this is a problem throughout China. The real estate market in China is in a very vulnerable position right now. And it will be interesting to see if the Chinese government does anything to intervene. They have a choice whether they want to provide aid to the large firms like Evergrande, or if they want to bail out the investors of these large firms, or if they're going to go to the individual homeowners who may see their prices decline rapidly in the years to come. And it's likely these problems will not only be isolated to the real estate market, that they're going to trickle over into other areas of the economy as well. Now, certain economists are trying to coin this comparison to Lehman Brothers, and I'm going to tell you why that's not fair. Lehman Brothers was underwriting billions of dollars of securities and derivatives that were backed by these risky mortgages. Here, those mortgages were the foundation of the economy and growth. So when people started defaulting on their mortgages, there felt the foundation, everything fell beneath it. Where here the burden's primarily going to fall on these large development companies and their investors. And certainly we'll see this trickle over to other areas of the economy, particularly in China and also the world economy. But that's not to say that this Evergrande situation and the Chinese real estate market is going to create another world financial crisis like we saw in 2008. However, now shifting back to the Chinese economy, which we've seen the real estate market is in a vulnerable position, this is likely to impact other areas. Real estate related activity in the Chinese market accounts for roughly about 20%. So you can expect to see growth slow in these areas of construction and industrial and real estate development, as well as real estate prices falling across China. We've alone already seen the Chinese economy slowing down in areas like retail, industrials, and car sales. So expect this to continue. Another thing to consider here is the one-party Chinese government and how unpredictable they can be. We've seen them clash heads with some of China's biggest companies like Jack Ma and Alibaba. So after this Evergrande situation, we can expect to see more regulations from the Chinese government, which could cause further hardship on some of the largely traded Chinese companies. That's why I'm worried what might happen in the Chinese real estate market in the years to come, and I would be wary about investing any money in China at this point in time. I hope you guys liked this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.